Hello everybody, welcome back to Time Guy DBZ. I'm your host Vinny, and tonight we got an interesting death battle featuring Blades.
Oh hell no!
Have no fear folks, this is not a hold up, this is not a stick up, this is not a robbery, okay? This is just a pure plain machete. Fun fact, my dad actually gave me this machete a couple years ago. I was living with him by myself, and he had a kind of job where he was out on the road, so he gave me a machete to protect myself. So, yeah. Interesting choice there. I don't know if he thinks that the world operates by RPG rules. Most people carry guns nowadays, so I seriously doubt that anybody is going to just simply let me swing at them in self-defense. I'm pretty sure they're just going to take a shot at me. Thanks for killing me, Dad.
You got me now! You got me now! You figured me out! You fucking nincomb fucking poop!
Appreciate the gift. You probably have seen this prop / real weapon in a couple of skits of mine on TikTok and probably on YouTube a couple years ago, which I will leave in the title box in the video somewhere by the end of the video, so stick around for that in case you have not checked out my original content like that. Anyway, the reason why I said that we are having a death battle of blades today is because we are going up against two combatants who are really well versatile in the art of weaponry or swordsmanship. One of them is from WarFrame, The Eclipse, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Raiden. It's been actually a hot minute since we've seen Raiden in a death battle. I believe his last death battle was Wolverine versus Raiden, and we all know how that went down. And if not, here's a little clip to show you guys. Way to keep your head, Wolverine. Way to keep your head. Today might be a little bit different. I don't really know what's going to be happening in this scenario. I hope that Raiden will claim victory, but I can't be so certain. Usually Death Battle tries to put combatants who are similar to one another against each other, but you know, sometimes they stack the odds a little bit unevenly, if you know, catch my drift. Maybe that might not be the case today. Anyway, we're going to get into this in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by WarFrame.
Don't miss WarFrame's highly anticipated digital event, TennoCon, on July 16th, where players and attendees will be treated to a slew of first-look reveals, including the upcoming open-world expansion, the Duviri Paradox.
You can join through Twitch throughout TennoCon for highly valuable drops, including the rare Titania Prime.
The rare Titania Prime. Don't really care for that, but, you know, they got it. Okay.
Wiz, what are you doing in here? It's our day off.
Oh, just conducting some research. I've discovered a Tenno foundry in the process of crafting a new WarFrame. I'm just about wrapped. What are you doing here?
Sometimes I have these horrible nightmares and I just wake up here in a cold sweat. I don't even think my car's in the parking lot.
Wow.
But what you're doing sounds way more interesting. So tell me, what WarFrame's your favorite?
Oh, a scientist doesn't play favorites.
Oh, bullshit. Our job is the equivalent of banging action figures together. You've got to have a favorite.
Fine, if I had to pick, I'd go with the very first WarFrame ever created, the death-dealing techno-organic ninja Excalibur.
You mean he's a cyborg ninja? Like Raiden from Metal Gear?
What? No, they're not technically cyborgs. More like super-powered biomechanical vessels that are unlike anything I've ever seen. Trust me, this is gonna get crazy, so spoilers ahead.
Yeah, just give me the lore already, Wiz.
Long ago in the Origin system, the Orokin Empire discovered the Void,
This
an
is a unique
extra-dimensional
case.
spatial realm that allowed for travel across vast cosmic distances. However, when they sent the first colony ship through it, the Zariman 10-0, the Void drove all the adults on board into an insane, murderous frenzy.
Sounds like my first wedding reception.
Okay. The children, though, absorbed
Yeah, you're
the
right.
Void's
Okay.
energies, imbuing them with the powers they needed to defend themselves against their mad parents and survive. When the Zariman 10-0 emerged from the Void, the children were permanently changed. They had become the Tenno.
Well, I'm sure those traumatized little whippersnappers received only the best of care.
If only. Instead, the Tenno were taught to use their Void powers to control Warframes through a process called transference. But their abilities were so powerful that the Orokin grew to fear the Tenno and tried to have them destroyed. The Tenno were hidden from the Orokin and put into a deep sleep. That is, until one day, they were reawakened to defend a war-torn Origin system guided by their adoptive mother, the Lotus.
So they're basically sci-fi child soldiers.
Sort of. Though the Lotus does care deeply for her adopted children and has devoted her efforts to protecting as many Tenno as possible. There are almost 50 different Warframes currently out there, each with their own unique abilities and combat styles. But I think that the very first created, Excalibur, is the deadliest.
He's kinda reminded me of someone.
A master swordsman with his razor-sharp skana, Excalibur is an expert at racking up quick kills faster than the eye can track.
He really is.
He's unmatched in skill and precision with the blade, especially when augmented by
Exalted
his
blade,
unique
made of
abilities,
pure right.
like Radial Blind, which releases a flash of light to incapacitate nearby foes, or Radial Javelin, which blasts out a wide burst of energy spears. But his greatest and most iconic is easily the Exalted Blade, a sword of light that can slice just about anything to pieces. You don't get much cooler than that.
Huge-ass laser guns, Wiz. Huge-ass laser guns automatically make you cooler.
Funny you should say that. While individual Warframes like Excalibur may specialize in certain fields, they all have access to an incredible suite of futuristic weaponry, like the Nucor, which can fire concentrated beams of microwaves, literally cooking you from the inside out, or the Glaxian, which halts molecular vibrations entirely, freezing you in place. There are guns that fire radioactive plasma, toxic barbs, or even acidic needles. He has, and I'm not exaggerating here, over 500 different named weapons.
Man, he sounds like a one-man army.
Oh, you think that's crazy? Excalibur can call down an Archwing, basically a futuristic space jetpack with missiles, force fields, and even the ability to fire miniature black holes.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty powerful.
While Warframes usually battle alongside one another, they have had the occasional head-to-head scrap, where they've exhibited the durability to survive even the most powerful attacks that other Warframes have to dish out. For example, blasts of concentrated antimatter from the Warframe Nova.
Sounds pretty unstoppable, but I think I have someone in mind that might put that to the test.
Okay, do you really want to talk about Raiden? Is that what this is?
Come on, Wiz. Child soldier, half-robot assassin, glorious Nippon steel. It's a perfect match. Raised from childhood to be a trained killer in the war-torn streets of Liberia by the future president of the United States,
Except,
Jack
last time I checked,
never knew what it
Raiden
meant to
doesn't have
control
black
his
hole
own destiny,
capabilities.
to live his own life.
Well, not black
The
hole
only
capabilities,
thing
but
he
doesn't have a
knew
weapon that
was
can
how
produce
to
a black
kill.
hole.
And he proved it when he accomplished one of the greatest feats in video game history. Surviving the absolute mindfuck that was Metal Gear Solid 2. Legions of angry fanboys be damned. Solid Snake was yesterday's news. This was Raiden. Birthday suit and all.
Too bad for him that a shadowy extra-governmental body known as the Patriots captured him and turned him into a cyborg for their own complicated purposes. Even after the Patriots' downfall, Raiden struggled to build a life that he could call his own, pulled between his sense of justice and his genuine ecstasy for war.
Well, at least he's got to put his weed skills to work with the weapons he's pulled off the corpses of all the poor souls that dared mess with him. He's got dystopia, a magnetic sigh that pulls you towards your enemy.
Oh, you're giving him all the different
You
weapons.
actually said that right.
Which is a convertible staff/whip combination made of arms. Plus rocket launchers, claymore mines, EMP grenades,
Oh, they're giving him
and
all the
stuff
weapons that they use.
But nothing beats his high-frequency blade he inherited from Jetstream Sam, the Murasama.
I have to admit, the high-frequency blades are marvels. They vibrate at such high speeds that they can destabilize the physical structures of metals on contact, greatly increasing their cutting ability. It's basically robot kryptonite, if that makes sense.
Even with his original high-frequency blade, Raiden could cut through massive Metal Gears like tissue paper.
And of note, those Metal Gears were not made of ordinary steel, but carbon nanotubes, one of the strongest materials known to man. The bonds between carbon atoms are incredibly strong, which means that the tensile strength of carbon nanotubes is greater than even the toughest metals, like titanium. Using the high end of potential shear strengths, slicing clean through a building-sized Metal Gear ray would require an energy equivalent to, at most, 100 kilotons of TNT.
And the Murasama is red, which makes it even cuttier. How else would he have had a chance against our Lord and Savior, Senator Armstrong, and his nanomachine, son? Unlike those Beltway pansies, this hulked-out Ayn Rand can hit the ground so hard it splits lava. He was somehow a vastly more difficult boss than the stadium-sized Metal Gear Excelsis Raiden tore to shreds minutes earlier. Don't F with this,
By the
Senator.
way, I'm
That
curious.
is, unless your nickname is Jack the Ripper.
Raiden spent years fighting for justice and denying who he really was inside, and it took his battles with Desperado enforcement to finally realize it. He's a killer, plain and simple, and he lives to test his skills against others.
When he enters Ripper mode, any last shred of inhibition leaves his body, and his strength and skill skyrocket.
And that's exactly what Armstrong saw in Raiden. Living proof of his philosophy in action. Someone who pulled themselves out of hell with nothing but their determination to survive.
But Raiden did not see it that way. Just because he had to fight for survival doesn't mean the whole world had to. And it was only through an act of generosity from Raiden's slain rival, Sam, that he managed to win.
His sword may have been a tool of justice, not used in anger, but the Murasama wasn't that sword, and with it he ended Armstrong once and for all, and lived the rest of his life on his own terms.
I'm really curious
Look,
to know
I know
where
we're
you
just
went
shooting
to.
the shit, but Raiden would definitely kick Excalibur's ass.
You've got to be joking. Maybe I didn't sell it well enough with my spiel, but Warframes like Excalibur are unbelievably powerful, on a whole other level from cyborg ninjas like Raiden.
Oh yeah? We're in the lab, we've got the research done. Prove it.
Okay,
Now let's do the
Murasama is
battle.
Impressive, sure, but Excalibur's futuristic arsenal is hundreds of years more advanced and leagues more varied. Raiden would just be overwhelmed.
Excalibur may win in quantity, Wiz, but quality is what matters most. And considering his weapons are mostly made of metal, it won't be any trouble for Raiden to melt right through him with the Murasama. Especially with how crazy
I feel like
fast
there
he
was
is.
always a
Raiden
but.
can run up walls and break dance with leggy mooing robots attached to his feet. He can slice bullets out of the air and even boost his reactions with blade mode, where the entire world slows down to a near stop.
Well, sure, Metal Gear characters like Revolver Ocelot can shoot bolts of electricity out of the air with regular pistols, which is probably around hundreds of times faster than sound. I guess that counts as fast.
Oh, please, that's nothing! Raiden can increase his perception to the point that raindrops around him aren't even moving. That might not seem as crazy at first glance, but he's also able to swing his sword dozens of times, while time is almost stopped. By my calculations, that'd be about 11% the speed of light.
Oh, is this happening? Is this actually happening? You want a calc off, big guy? Then let's go. Excalibur can literally block a beam of light with his sword. Judging by the distance it moved relative to how far the light beam traveled, Excalibur had to have been swinging at 9% the speed of light.
Ooh.
Calc King dethroned! Look at me! I'm the math boy now.
Look, speed is only part of the picture. Another Warframe, Atlas, was strong enough to smash apart a giant asteroid. Now, Excalibur may not be one-punching asteroids, but he's proven more than capable of wiping out entire platoons of elite soldiers.
But remember, Wiz, you said it yourself. Robot Kryptonite. All old Jack needs is one good swing of that Murasama, and Excalibur's getting sliced to pieces. You really think your Warframe can take on a pure-blooded killer like Raiden?
Oh, you really think your cyborg ninja can take on a ghost soldier from the future?
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Forever a mystery.
No way to determine a winner.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh yeah, I could definitely go for a beer right now.
No, you idiot, let's settle this the old-fashioned way.
Oh, yeah! It's time for a
Okay.
death
There
battle!
you go. Death battle. Alright. Interesting. Okay. I like that. Alright. We're going to let that do its thing for a second. So, that's a unique way of introducing it. This is like I think this might be kind of like a special episode, or it might be a sponsored one, and especially for this game, I think this is the new one, or this must be a new game. Honestly, I've never heard of Warframe. I might be curious to check it out after this, but I don't know. Shooting games are just not my cup of tea. But anyway, I think it probably is going to be Raiden just because of the Murasami, the Murasaki blade, or Murasama. I think it's Murasama or Murasaki. If I didn't say that right, let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's one of either of those two. But anyway, the high frequency blade is capable. It is almost like that of robotic kryptonite. There is not really a lot of stuff that it can't cut. And really, it vibrates. And the whole point about it is that the blade is able to vibrate, or is able to vibrate at a frequency that is able to literally split atoms. Not split them, but is enough to forcibly cut through pretty much anything. So, yeah. Well, that's not good. That's not, you know, especially for something that almost is made of a machine. It's kind of impossible to fight against. So, but we're about to find out. So anyway, let's begin with the death battle to see who wins. All right, what's going on here? Oh, okay. There's Raiden. All right.
Doctor, are you seeing this?
You might want to look behind you, my guy.
An enemy is ahead, and that foundry is crafting a warframe.
Oh boy. Look out.
Straight to the point. Metal freaks like you usually got a monologue first.
Usually. May not be the case this time.
His sword, it's weakening yours.
Oh yeah, I forget. Wait, no, does he? He don't have guns. I thought he didn't. I guess it could be wrong.
Infinite ammo.
Excalibur doesn't really talk. I just kind of realized that. Like, he doesn't really speak that much. Which, honestly, I appreciate that. There's not a lot of people you come across in...
Mr. Raiden, sir, or can I call you Jack? Big fan.
Who the hell? I'm busy here.
Can I go here? Like, really? Come on, man.
Wait, just listen. You'll never expect your secret weapon.
All right, listen, he's definitely hiding in the cardboard box.
Get out of here!
Wow. Oh, no. Yeah. That was... Unfortunately, that's the obvious question from somebody who was... Oh, who's that? Oh.
Doctor, it's time to let her rip. This is why I fight. Survival of the fittest. The rules of nature.
Really? You're gonna be borrowing your own song, my guy?
My child, you're not done yet. I'm searching your warframe's power systems.
Wow. Yeah.
Excellent work, Tenno. Now for the foundry. Oh, it's finished.
KO!
Chalk one up for the Calc King. The math boy is back.
Oh, infinite ammo, Wiz. He had infinite ammo.
Sure, and yes, that is 100% indisputably canon, but there was a lot more going on here that
That's actually
eventually gave
crazy.
Excalibur
I did not know
the
he had
win.
an
I
infinite.
guess so. Both were super skilled swordsmen and ninja, and their speeds were almost even. So the fight was ultimately gonna come down to whose tech was better. And I've gotta say, it looks like Excalibur just had a lot more to pull from.
Warframes have access to an absolutely absurd amount of varied weapons. Despite Raiden's unique armaments, they were never going to stack up in sheer quantity. And consider specific guns like Glaxian, which can halt molecular movement, a direct counter to Raiden's high-frequency blade. While Excalibur may not always be carrying it, every Warframe is proficient with each of their over 500 weapons.
One blast of that, and Raiden might as well be working with a regular slab of steel. Excalibur was way stronger too. Sure, Raiden could cut through giant Metal Gear rays made of carbon nanotubes, generating up to 100 kilotons of TNT.
But not as much as Excalibur. Another
That's true.
Warframe, Atlas, was strong enough to smash apart a giant asteroid. meaning it would have to be at least 6 kilometers across, just like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Now, Atlas did not completely halt its kinetic energy. By exploiting fissures within the asteroid, he was able to pulverize it to dust.
That means his punch had to hit with an energy of at least 46 gigatons of TNT. Sure, in canon, Atlas is stronger than Excalibur, but they fought and defeated similar enemies, so Excalibur would naturally have to be somewhere in Atlas's ballpark. Even if Excalibur only possessed 1% of Atlas's strength, he'd still be nearly 4,000 times stronger than Raiden. That's pretty consistent with the energy output of Nova's antimatter blast too. Warframes are just that tough.
Furthermore, even with the high-frequency blade's unique vibrating ability, it cannot cut through everything. Raiden's original blade actually shattered against Armstrong's
That
skin,
I did forget about that.
Stronger Murasama to finish the job. Against a foe vastly more durable than anyone Raiden's ever faced, it's unlikely the Murasama would score a kill in time.
Even if Raiden got enough hits in to break Excalibur's shields and eventually land a fatal blow, the Tenno operator piloting would still survive unharmed.
Raiden put up a valiant effort, but Excalibur's absurd arsenal, impressive durability, and raw power put an end to the silver-haired swordsman.
Excalibur had the metal and the gear to make Jack R.I.P.
The winner is Excalibur. Told you so.
Shut up.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to WarFrame for
Shut up.
sponsoring this battle. Quick disclaimer, Digital Extremes and the WarFrame team did not dictate the victor of this episode, nor even the matchup. They were fine with it going either way, and we wouldn't have accepted the sponsorship otherwise. So we're really thankful to them for understanding this show. Remember, you can get a free collection of Excalibur-themed goodies from warframe.com.
And I appreciate that it actually brought that up, because the fact of the matter was, that was my concern even before watching this.
Don't miss out on TennoCon, July 16th.
All right.
I'm Jocelyn, and I've been promoted. I'm about to do all the research nobody else wants to, straight from the desk of Death Battle.
All right. Enjoy Desk of Death Battle, Jocelyn. So, let's talk about the Death Battle. First off, I do appreciate the fact that they did acknowledge they did not they weren't doing this to accept a bribe, they weren't doing this for sponsorship, whatever it was. They wouldn't have accepted it regardless. If they could not conduct and fairly do a fair assessment for both these combatants. Because if it was more leaning towards the fact of Excalibur because of promotion for their new event and stuff like that, then that would have taken away from the very principle of the death battles in general. In regards to the death battle, though, I actually do kind of agree with the conclusion there, because it seemed, because of the fact that both of these combatants are kind of distant, and the fact that their skills, like both their skills, they're both incredibly fast, they're both incredibly strong, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a difference. Like Raiden, I do remember with him, he's not entirely invincible. His first blade did snap against the nanomachines. He does now have the new Murasaki blade that he got from Sam, but that doesn't necessarily mean that even if it did work against Armstrong, it might not work against Eclipse. Earth-made nanomachines might be different compared to alien technology and armor that's, comprised of completely different metals. Maybe they're similar, I don't know. Just take everything with a grain of salt and let the fan bases hash it out. That's bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a soft spot towards Raiden because of his story. The animation in this death battle was fire. Again, I appreciate the fact that they didn't just go to pixelated. Sometimes pixelated battles are a little bit more fun, but I feel like with these types of games that do have 3D models, it's appropriate to use the 3D models because it's more accurate to read and it's more fun. By the way, I actually appreciated the Wiz and Boomstick interactables in there. They made fun of the whole cardboard box. I never really understood that mechanic in Metal Gear. I just thought it was hilarious, and personally, props to them for working with that. We need some Goofy from time to time.
And the truth shall set you free!
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out of here. So that was my reaction to Raiden versus Eclipse. Warframe versus Metal Gear Rising, brought to you guys by Death Battle. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, to make sure to share this with your friends, family, and strangers, because remember, sharing is caring, y'all. And to comment down below, what did you guys think of the outcome of this death battle? Did you like it? Did you guys prefer Raiden to claim victory? Did you guys expect a third outcome? Did you guys expect a draw? Some people may have, I don't know. It's possible, considering the fact that this was a little bit of an unorthodox episode, but that's fine, and every once in a while we need a little bit of unorthodox. to spice things up a bit, you know, make the kitchen saucy, you know what I mean?
That was cringe.
You shouldn't have done that.
Bad move. I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Anyway, I love you, everybody here. I can expect to see every one of y'all in the next content of Time Guy DBZ. Have a blessed day, God bless, and I'll see you guys then. Peace, and have a good night.
Bonus track.
Probably on different other reactions and projects. There's actually been, you know, there's a new half. I don't sound like Swift there.